My name is Aj Pineda. I'm in period 4 of pre-cal, and this is my course evaluation. So the first thing is that list two things Mr. Ng did to effectively facilitate the learning process for the math class. One way that was effective was that he made us talk to other students and the partners right next to us, and that helped us understand more of the how to solve the question and help us understand the concept. And the second one would be go through different questions with the same concept. That would help us understand more, like different ways or the correct way to solve a question. And the second thing, the next thing to talk about is two things Mr. Ng did to hinder you from learning mathematics. One would be days when he would be absent, like it would be slow, but we would be able, well, like we didn't really learn anything new or understand things more. And the second one would be spending too much time on one question. That was like it would mostly like one hard question would take like the whole period. There would be like some days like that, but it wasn't always all. It wasn't all the time. And the next thing to talk about is two things I did successfully in Mr. Ng's class. One would be understanding concepts, like different math, like different things in math. Um, Another thing would be know how to collaborate with other students. That I did successfully with that because that made me like be step out of my comfort zone, and I would be able to like know, like always ask for help, like because I wouldn't be able to go through the class by myself if I didn't ask questions. The next thing to talk about is things I learned in Mr. Ng's class. It could be in mathematics or life. So one would be for mathematics was arc is the same thing as the inverse, like arc sine is the same as sine -1, and we could just take the invert. We just do the inverse and just would be sine -1 30 degrees equals theta, and we just put that in the calculator and find it. And another thing that I learned would be something in life. From that my time in that classroom, he talked about how it doesn't matter what happens to you, like as long as you rise up from the occasion. Like if you fall down, like in life, or you fail, it doesn't really matter as long as you get back up and do better. That's what really matters, because people won't really care or won't really notice what happens to you when you fall, like when you fail. They only see you when you succeed. And next thing to talk about would be two best experiences of mine in Michelle's class. One would be getting A's and um, A's on my quizzes and tests. That would be really surprising, and it felt really good to get good grades, because I wouldn't really think I'd be able to understand everything and be able to get that type of grade on a test or quiz. Another thing would be running to get. I actually ran to go get my extra 24 pass for a project that me and my partner needed more time on. Um, I got that from winning the raffle, and that helped me and my partner a lot. The next section would be the what would you think of the overall of the class overall. The first one would be academic rigor of class. Was it appropriate for the grade level and the class? The intensity and work is appropriate for the level, because it's obviously pre-cal and it's supposed to push you harder and expand more your knowledge more on math. And the work wasn't never too little. It was always the right amount of work to help us and understand the concept of math. And the next thing would be work habits. Well, was Mr. Ng enthusiastic and committed to the teaching profession? He was pretty enthusiastic and committed because he always wanted us to understand. That's why he took his time, like going through the problems, and he wanted us to love math by like just trying to show us different ways how it could be fun, things like that. Like some to me personally, it feels good to like understand something and get the right question, get the right answer. And the next part would be was Mr. Ink's conduct that of an exceptional citizen and inspirational teacher. Like he would probably be one of the best teachers I had, because other teachers wouldn't really teach, but he would teach, like, and help us and interact with us to help us understand. So like he wasn't harsh or anything, and like he was the type of teacher that gave a vibe to give respect and we could get respect back. And he would like telling us these life lessons. Like he would try to inspire us to work harder, and that would be it. And so the thing I want to say to the next math class would be just never to wait last minute, because you like it will always come back to haunt you, and you would need to try to like rush everything, and you wouldn't give really 100% on the late work that you had. Next one would be always ask for help, like the students and from Mr. Ing too. It would really help, and always get to know like the partners right next to you, because they're the one that is going through the class with you and trying to understand what you're trying to understand too, and maybe other people might know the concept more than you, so that would help. And just being more involved with the whole class and like volunteer, because it's always like you won't really understand or see how far you could take yourself if you don't get involved, and also don't get detentions, because you can't let them pile up. And always do your Khan Academy, because if you slack on that, then you're gonna get a bad grade, and you don't really want that. Um, always try to learn to love math, because even though it's not really someone's favorite subject, it's gonna it's gonna get a lot easier if you pay attention and do the work, and always study and prepare for quizzes and tests, because if you don't, it's gonna show on your grade, and you're gonna see on your test and quiz that he's gonna see that you didn't really study or worked hard for it. And that's my course evaluation.